the more that you're doing at one time, it's a pretty epic and amazing. And the focus that I have is always to speak to one person. And so when I am connecting with yourself, that's all I'm connecting to. That's it. And that by focusing all of that connection to you, that energy emits when it hits something, and it goes everywhere, all directions. You have that focus, it definitely starts the fire for sure. So it gets pretty powerful. So well, I think I'm looking here. We're looking at almost all of the buttons are go green. So we're gonna do this. So we are streaming at 5 places at once. So we are multi-dimensional beings stepping into the finite 3D realm. And today I have the awesome pleasure of having a conversation with somebody that I have known for like, whoa, like how many years? Like more than 25. We'll just say 25 or plus years.
Yep.
And very interesting how our paths crossed. And actually, we used to live across the street from each other down in southern Utah. And we have stayed in touch over the last many, many years and are connecting once again about something that is near and dear to my heart. Obviously, it's right here. I got mine. Shalee's got hers. We're talking about Healy tonight. And the reason why we're talking about Healy again is we have other individuals, more individuals. I'm just gonna like line them up probably like all day tomorrow because there's so many individuals who have things to say about Healy. And wanted to connect you with Shalee Winn. She is down in the southern Utah area, Cedar City, St. George, Enoch. She's got you covered. I mean, Richfield, even if somebody like really wanted a Salt Lake, wanted to check it out, I'm sure people could connect with you and come and hang out, even if it's all the way up from Las Vegas or anything. They could physically come to you and say, Shalee, hook me up. I know Trevor can do the resonance thing, and that's cool and all. It's cool, but I want to physically connect to this device, and that's
absolutely.
Yeah, I thought you would like in a heartbeat. So in the description, you will find her partner link. So in the event that you would like a Healy and you know Healy, or you know Healy and you know Shalee, and you're like, I was gonna get a Healy anyway, and Shalee's right here, and Shalee knows she's had hers for a decent amount of time, so she's done the trial and error thing. And if anybody's gonna help me with it, I love a local person, and Shalee is that potential local person that you could connect with, and I highly recommend. So Shalee, you currently have a Healy. How long have you had it? Let's dive down into some experiences that you have had personally, and then let's take a step back and see what you have connected and how other people have utilized the energy that it is you're going to give, that you have given them to. So when did you get the Healy, by the way?
Oh heck, I think it was only a few months ago. I've only had it for a few months. It feels like longer, but it's only been a few months.
Yeah, I think January, February, March.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, February, I think. And yeah, I don't know how I ever lived without it, Trevor. So yeah, I started getting migraines when I was like 8 years old and suffered from back pain my whole life, and took handfuls of ibuprofen, did everything I could to not do the whole doctors and pharmaceuticals and all that fun stuff, because addiction has I've seen the havoc that addiction wreaks on families. So I didn't go that route. And when I was 18, I was diagnosed with fibromyalgia. Once again, they wanted to put me on all sorts of meds. Didn't want to go that route. So my whole life, I've just searched and searched and searched for something that would help. And since having the Healy, I haven't had a single migraine. I haven't had back pain. I didn't used to sleep through the night because of my back pain. I sleep 8 hours a night. My Healy watch even says so. So yeah, it's been so amazing. I absolutely love my Healy. I want 10 more of them. And I think everybody needs to at least experience it.
See, when we connected, Shalee, this is what's so interesting about it. People don't tell me all of the issues that they have until they're gone. It's like there's almost this embarrassment, like I don't want to tell anybody because then I'm weak or they'll look at me different. because I would have never, I didn't know you had migraines like that. I didn't even know you had fibromyalgia. Shoot, like to have those issues of back pain and headaches and migraines and all that stuff. I mean, to have that, I mean, this is where people go, well, wait a second, you know, you get a $2,500 residence, and what if it only works for pain? Shalee, what would you share with that individual, that if it only worked for pain?
If it only worked for pain, oh, it's worth every penny and then some. Yeah, I think I've spent more money on other things than this ever would cost anybody. So it's worth every penny, and it does so much more than just pain.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and that's an interesting thing here in the United States. It's a class 2 medical device that has been cleared by the FDA for pain. Though outside of the United States, it's clear, or it can treat any disease, and it can treat anything. Like it can treat anything. But here in America, it's only a class 2 medical device for pain. There's bioresonance in your bioenergetic field, that there's all these disclaimers that it's all in your head and that you're a silly little, you know, person whose physical form is refrained from aligning with optimal. I mean, you can totally get misaligned from all the misaligning frequencies that are out there, from anything from a TV to a signal, to the things that we eat, to the things that we drink, to the people around us and news and all that negative Nancy stuff. You can get totally misaligned with all that stuff. But yeah, this optimal frequencies, for some reason, when you cross that border into the United States, it's like the quantum field doesn't exist, and the medical cartels don't honor it as truth, which is really interesting. So wow. So no migraines. What is that?
No migraines,
like?
not one.
No
Oh, it's
migraines
amazing.
with the Healy. Wow.
I used to have probably 3 a week, and since then it's not one.
Wow. And your mom, and you're on the go. How has your life changed from a productivity standpoint of being able to be present with your kids and not in that state on a consistent basis of migraines?
Oh, well, that's awesome. And with kids, with work, with everything, it's like night and day. I'm very physical at work. I'm always lifting, always stretching my muscles, and with the pain, it's amazing. With the kids, I can go out and play with them, hang out, go hiking, and I don't worry about it. I just wear my Healy.
People are like, "Are you a robot or something?" And it's like, yeah,
I've had people say that.
Yeah. Yeah,
I love it.
We just got so we just picked up some dinner. Usually we cook, and today it's a day of kids are at the Gran and Papa's, and we're like, let's go out and get something to eat. And I've switched up. I'm wearing my electrode bracelets actually on my ankle, but and I'm trying that out. Julia usually wears them on their ankle, or her ankles, and I'm wearing shorts, of course, because it's like 100,000 degrees outside. And I walked into the restaurant, and at that time of day, when we got the food around 4:30, 5 o'clock ish, there was all individuals in the greater generation, or the great generation, and silver sneakers, and whatnot, age demographic, and every single person was looking at the wires running down my leg, and I'm like, if you only knew, if you only knew. If you only were like, hey, what's that, Sonny? Come on over and tell me about that space station. What do you got going on there, right? But
yeah.
So if we stopped on migraines, back pain, and fibromyalgia stuff, wow, I would go, job well done, and I would walk away and be like epic success of wow. So what else? What other type of experiences have you had that you're willing to share with Healy, and or with somebody else who has experienced Healy? Because we can stay very pain oriented. Myself, I like talking about everything else that it can do and that it does. though this is your time, this is your testimony, this is what you want to share. Love to hear more about your own personal experiences and what you have seen, maybe with your friends or family or people who have asked you about your Healy and what experience they have had.
You know, my kids absolutely love it. They fight over it. That's why I need more of them. They think it's the coolest thing. They love to feel it tingle, and they're just thrilled with it. They don't quite understand it, but they will. And then also my boyfriend, he hangs out with me and he swears that just being within 3 feet of me, he can feel it. Yeah. So I swear it's doing more than just for me, even just with somebody sitting next to me. So
yeah, a lot of people, you know, when they get this, they're like, wait, so on the program, is it, if it's a black, is that a bad thing? It's not connected. And it's like, well, you know, if your skin is dry and it's not able to make that connection point, changing the intensity of it might solve that. Drinking a big glass of water, waiting an hour, and allowing your body to rehydrate as well. So actually, this is a quick tip to help you on your path. If you feel it tingling, it's actually too much, or it's not connecting, so it's arcing. Where if you can feel it, then there's attention going towards it, and where your attention goes, energy flows. And really, if it's a zzz, 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 it creates resistance, and what resists persists. So a lot of folks are like, let's turn it up to 100. It's got to be like a tens machine. I got to feel it. In actuality, it is purposefully subtle so that you are unknowingly receiving the energy without any barriers of resistance, of knowing, wow, I can really feel that on my ankles right now. It's not making a connection. So it's really, really trying harder in order to make that. It's like, whoa, you know, take a step back, maybe put some lotion on, you know, get yourself some mama juju, right? Get yourself some mama juju mend, coming to a internet store near you. Get yourself up, right? All good. And then go to town. And then the event that, oh, something happens, electrodes come out, or the connection is not there. You're not getting individual microcurrents, but you're still getting electromagnetic frequency. And some people go, oh, EMF, it's like, well, EMF has two sides of the coin. You've only been taught about the misaligning frequencies. Come on now. Let's be real about this. So in the event that you are now a transmitter of frequencies, because you are resonating now, and that's the thing with frequency, Shalee, it's the resonating pervasive. That's the one, pervasive. It's the one that lasts the longest. And it just so happens that now yours is the most optimal, right? I would say, I don't know if it's most optimal, but it's definitely being on it. The potential of it is, yeah, it's there, which is very fun. And what I love doing is watching the world change around me. And that's what you're doing. You are literally a beacon who is resonating. I mean, the Healy, 5 to 10 feet out from it, depending on what else is going on or other frequencies like that, they'll totally get it. So I love taking this, putting it right down in the middle of the table when everybody's having dinner or something like that. We're all connected. We're all playing. We're drawing, right? We're at the table. It's like, well, just sit the Healy right there, and everybody can get it. And that is really fun. So with your children, I mean, I don't know if there's any things that you have seen that help them along the way, or more curiosity. What is this doing? I mean, have they, because our kids, like, it's dramatic realizations of benefits almost instantaneous with them, because their resistance is not there. What about you?
Yes. This last year we've done homeschool, and it was quite the struggle. And then once I got the Healy, I kind of noticed there's more focus. When I turn on a certain program, they focus and they're more into it. They're asking questions, and learning has been fun with the Healy.
That's awesome. Has there been a shift in focus, or maybe the volatility? I know our kids, they're one of the first things that we saw was a shift in focus and the time to come back to oneself in a traumatizing or didn't go exactly the way that I expected it kind of way. And those eruptions were mediocre at best in comparison to where they were, and fewer and further between instances. Personally, that's what we've seen. Is that what you're seeing
Yes,
as well, or?
absolutely. Like one of my little kids has ADHD, and it's hard for him to focus. And used to be able to keep his attention for maybe 2 minutes if you're lucky. Now you lose it, you get his attention, you hold it for 5 to 10 minutes, and if you lose it, he's right back within 2 to 3 minutes. So it's been amazing.
That's super cool. Now, so on your day job, right? You are a marketing manager for Five Rings Financial. So you help individuals and introduce them to financial education offerings at no cost, women's financial empowerment. You run and are co-hosting virtual Wine, Women, and Wealth events, as well as educational opportunities to teach parents and grandparents and child educators how to teach their kids about money and whatnot, and creating all of these opportunities for the local and regional and national area to connect people with financial education. And I know one of the processes that you have is called refinancing your finances, where people learn about how to find money in their monthly budget and their expenses that they might have been missing or overextending themselves in other areas that, oops, I didn't realize that I had this and I had that over there, but there's this middle part that's actually double coverage or taxation or something like that, or subscription that we're no longer requiring, or a credit score that I can bump up, or these student loans can be reduced or eliminated, or there's a lot of things that it is that Five Rings Financial helps out with. And how do you foresee somebody like yourself who has been in that position of taking those recommendations by the traditional medical world and refinancing your pain expenses? What do you feel that for you personally, and potentially as an opportunity for other individuals? What do you feel there's a really benefit there that you have seen for your financial future?
Oh, well, there's a lot there. As far as like the Healy and my financial future.
Yeah, for
Well,
eliminating pain management approaches, that alone.
yeah,
So focusing on the pain management as an example. I know this was a very large question, if you will. I mean, one of the reasons why we jumped on the Healy when we got it is my wife and I had spent about 6 figures on our son Dean and my wife's journey to living a pain-free, optimized, well life. And when we saw the investment of the Healy, was like, well, that's a drop in the bucket in comparison to all of that. And now that we have the Healy, well, this can go, that can go, that can go, that can go. And so things like that, is that something that you have personally experienced and have seen that? Or are you at the beginning of realizing how much less you are investing in those activities?
there's a lot less that I save money on since getting the Healy. For instance, all the over-the-counter pain medicines. I've saved tons since getting the Healy. I'm sure there's a lot more things. I just can't think of it right off the top of my head right now.
No biggie. I'm just curious.
But I know it gives me back hours in my day just alone. So
Yeah,
that to me is time is money, you know.
for sure. Yeah. And I know the side projects that you're doing and hustling at the job that you've got, that by being able to be more productive, because what you're doing with your own personal financial empowerment, your story is absolutely amazing. And to add that element of having those medical hurdles, so to speak, and then having those being alleviated to be more productive, because there's so many individuals like within just a very small radius of where we live that these people are stopped and in their tracks to having a better life, to having better financial future, to have a better current financial presence, because they're unable to be present from a pain perspective and unable to move forward and be productive because of the pain, So from that right there, that is enough. I mean, that is enough right there. The migraines, the back pain, fibromyalgia, more productive, less over-the-counter costs. Kids are digging it. The focus that has come about with your kiddos is truly, from my perspective, a dream come true. From anybody who would ever get this in their hand and say, hey, Trevor, these are the things that happen to us, I would say, wow, like mic drop, boom, success. Like this is the level that I feel we all could have had way before that I was born. And what's interesting is there's so many individuals who are kind of leaning into the quantum field going, I don't really know what's, well, it's like, well, we used to be in horses and buggies, now we're in cars. We used to have only gas, and now we have electric. Where does the electricity, where does all that stuff come from? It's made of something smaller than electrons, neutrons, and protons and molecules. There's things that make up those things, and guess what? We're also made of those things. And when those things that make up those things shift, then everything is required to shift. So the question is, which point of leverage do you want? Do you want to go on the physical form of it and eat 10 pounds of celery every single day, or go into what was the element and the electrical quantum field potential of that, whatever it is that we're speaking about, to be affected at that level, at 0 point energy, at the infinite potential of positive possibilities? And that is what is really wonderful about this. And with the a really interesting aligned intention, which you have, and we've talked about it a lot, you're really focused on this. And this is something that if anybody connected with you, they'd be in good hands, not just to show them how to, how do I turn this thing on? Like, what does this do? But like the Healy watch, you're really leaning into that and really getting used to that, knowing that, and could help any individual, whether they're in their 20s or in their 70s, I'm sure, figure this thing out and understand, all right, Gran, come on, let's get you out of pain. Let's get you out of pain, Granny. Come on. Have you hooked it up with any of your elderly family members yet? Have you tried that?
No, I need to. They're a little skeptical still, but I think they'll come around, you know.
I do.
The watch, though, I think I could get my grandma really into the watch because of the whole SOS features. So there's some cool things with that watch.
Yeah, what else is cool about that watch?
It does all sorts of things. It recommends programs based on my heart rate and breath ratings. It monitors my heart rate throughout the day, monitors my steps and my physical activities, and holy cow, I don't even think I could name all the things it does, but it's fun.
So let's pause on the sleep, because you mentioned the sleep as well.
Yes.
Yeah. Enlighten us all to where your sleep was before and the steps that it took, because to say that you're sleeping 8 solid hours, whoa, how many out there
So when
would
I
be
first,
like, yeah, yes, please.
right. When I first got my Healy watch, I'd check it every morning because I was excited to see. And it shows you when you sleep, when you wake up, when you sleep, when you wake up. And I was waking up 6, 7, 8 times a night for 20 minutes at a time, and then I'd go back to sleep. I was never getting into that really deep sleep. After about 2 weeks of using my Healy, I was into about 6 hours of sleep with 1 interruption. And then after about a month and a half, I'm full 8 hours of sleep, no interruptions. I don't even wake up to use the bathroom in the middle of the night. And that's like unheard of for me. So it's awesome. 8 hours a night, almost every night.
So could you say that the pain of not sleeping was also alleviated too?
Oh, yes. I think the pain kept me up at night all the time.
Wow. Wow.
I wake up, I don't think my alarm never goes off. I'm waking up an hour to 2 hours before my alarm is even set to go off. So
Huh.
I'm getting good quality sleep because I'm not waiting for that alarm.
Wow, that is awesome. Yeah, because whenever I speak to you, and that's something that I didn't realize, but whenever we connect, there's a different focus. And that totally makes sense about the sleep and the pain and the migraines. Like that stuff, you kept it pretty close to your belt. Not really sharing that information to a lot of people. So, and I would have
I'm
never
I'm
known,
I'm a
like
pretty
if you,
quiet person usually,
yeah,
unless you
yeah,
really know me, daily life kind of thing.
yeah, yeah. Well, I appreciate you sharing that, because to be at that level of vulnerability, I know there's a lot of people, and I I was one of those individuals who carried a significant amount of pain and trauma and never ever wanted anybody to know about it. Like, I got this mentality, reign supreme, and never wanted to show anybody that I was vulnerable, that I could be hurt, that I could be taken down even for a minute. And there's a lot of people like that. And I feel that we are taking a turn and letting everybody know that, hey, we are in pain. And before, it's, as you're saying, there's no hope. In reality, I mean, it seems like every single person in our family lineage is in chronic pain. And I mean,
Mhm.
what the hell are you going to do about it? It's like, quit your bitching. We're all in pain. Just shove it down your throat into your dark recesses of your soul, because there ain't nothing that's going to ever benefit you. We're all stuck in this pain paradigm. And there's nothing you're ever going to do about it. And then quantum leap. And now there are options. And Healy's not the only one. I mean, there are a lot of
No.
options that you can do. I mean, sure, you can change the way that you eat 100% and go towards a completely non-inflammatory diet. You can go on cleanses. There's so many amazing things that you can do that are way potentially less of an investment. How do I know? I've done most of them. And yet it's like the second that you slip, right back there again. And it's like, wow, here I am again in pain. And
Hmm.
that's something that I forget about, quite honestly. I forget about that consistent and persistent level of pain. And I mean, gosh, so many accidents, so many crashes, so many broken bones, so many concussions, so many accidents. And it really wreaks havoc on a body. And with two little boys, I see them and I'm just like, every time they fall, I really think about how hurt I feel. And now those thoughts are waning and just kind of dissolving, because gosh, 2 nights ago, Dean, straight from his chair, just fell straight down right here on his wrist, hit his face. And like, it was one of those moments. Grandma's like freaking the F out. She's freaking out because she's got like what most people have, like childhood trauma when it comes around kids, like, oh my gosh, right?
Yep.
Uh, and then
Hmm.
it's that moment of creating space and seeing what the child is and really feeling, instead of broadcasting and programming, hey, that must have hurt, or or the other way of, you're all right. And so either option is telling and ingraining a different program into them. So we're in this moment. And what I love is having the confidence of, if it's serious, we gotta get a cast or something. The rate will be far expedited on the path back to optimal. And in the event that it was an ouch or a zinger or a bonker, we got different levels of things that we talk about. And it was a bonker, or it turned out to be a rager, which it was a rager. That's what it turned out to be. It lasts for, today it was like, how's it, Dean? Oh, it's a little sore. It's a little sore. Okay, well, think about going to Kung Fu. Maybe not. We'll go to Kung Fu tomorrow. But that was something that could have potentially knocked him out for a few weeks. is, I mean, you don't even know. He's right back up
Bounced
and
right back.
going, took the pain away. I mean, and he's 3 years old, and he tells me how much he loves the Healy and how much he really appreciates not being in pain. And thank you, Daddy. And it's such
Awesome.
these beautiful moments where like the stress that I carry, let alone every other parent on the, not even a parent, people in general, everybody was a kid who has those traumatizing experience, and then they get to rebroadcast them every time a kid falls. Watch out, breathe, laugh, smile, get through it, sit in that emotion for a second. It'll pass, level up, right? And it's in those moments that I get to be the eye of the storm, right? And to watch it, because I know that the pain will pass, and it will be this really epic teaching tool, and everybody will be okay. And it brings this immense calm and peace to my heart. And I freaking love it. So I appreciate you, Shalee, for trusting. And that's the biggest thing, I think, right here, is the amount of trust that sometimes it takes. And I encourage people to test the 14-day 100% guarantee, try it out. If it doesn't work out, just get your money back, like no big deal. And by using Shalee's link in the event that you would like to connect and have her help you do that, she is there to personally support and help you and connect you and show you. And also, because of that, anybody who purchases through her link will get a no-cost financial education course, as well as dinner. You get dinner, because there is dinner coming to Southern Utah in the route of financial education classes and women's financial empowerment meetup groups. And so Shalee, I know, is focusing on that and growing the presence of Five Rings Financial. And if anybody has any questions, you are hiring and filling a lot of positions for so many things in the financial arena. And as the marketing manager for Southern Utah, you are representing the fastest growing financial services company in the country, because you all focus on middle income Americans, no cost financial education, providing solutions that are only generally accessible by the multimillionaires and billionaires on this planet, teaching people how money works, and really supporting the shift of, I wish I would have learned, to, I got financial literacy down, son, boom, I got this. And truly being able to adult with money. And the company is over 60% women, so it is quite a different dynamic and a feel of the company. And so anybody who is interested in those type of things, or living benefits, or tax-free index accounts, or eliminating college loan or federal student loans, or reducing that amount that you owe, or getting out of debt 5 to 50 times faster, paying off your mortgage in 5 to 7 years, boosting your credit score, things like that. Basically funneling hundreds of thousands of dollars that you never knew that you had to your financial future. And so you are that person to connect, and whatever realm around finances, around electro or frequency medicine, you are that person. So if anybody has any questions, they can connect with you, and you're going to connect them to the next step, because I've seen you in action. I know how you work, and you're definitely great at what you do. So I appreciate your trust, getting the Healy. And if somebody was literally on the fence saying, ooh, should I, shouldn't I? Knowing that should is just a shaming paradigm, and that would be a highly key point of why it would potentially make sense for you to do it. What would you say to those individuals who are saying, oh, I'm so inspired to, I'm unsure? What would you say to those individuals?
Try it. Like, absolutely try it. You're out of your mind if you don't at least give it a chance. Because yeah, it'll save you thousands in the long run, for sure.
Let's pause on that. You out of your mind. You out of your mind. Wow, that is great. Do you have you charged up water yet, or like a bath?
Oh, I did charge my bath after watching one of your videos, and you mentioning that. I was like, no way, I have to try this. That was fun.
Cool, just checking up. Awesome. Well, hey, thank you so much, Shalee, for hanging out. And the links are down in the description. And consider joining Shalee's team. And there's big, big things that are coming for all of Team Mickelson. So watch out. And if you want to get the Healy Quick Start Toolkit, you can also go to choosehealy.com on the top right, and you'll start getting all the up-to-date information on everything Healy, the new business model, testimonials, everything. It is a business ready to go that is definitely next level. So thank you very much, Shalee, and I look forward to, gosh, the future is here, and it is bright, and it is awesome, and the quantum is real, and yeah, so appreciate you.
You're amazing, Trevor. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Wow, I look forward to reconnecting soon. Talk soon, Shalee.